This is a target that I shot with number 8 field load, just to kind of have a benchmark of what these things will do. You can see there that this area right here is probably, you know, where the wadding went through, but you got a nice pattern, and this was made from more or less 10 yards, which would be 30 feet away, on about a 9 or 10 inch target. So number 8 field load there. Okay, this target was shot same distance again, about 10 yards. The difference is this was made with steel BB load. I just took the field load shot out and replaced it with steel BBs, and you know, it's 10 yards. It's a fairly respectable pattern. By the way, this was with a modified choke. All this was made on a Remington 870 with a slug barrel, and so you know, you wouldn't want to get hit with that. BB is a good deal lighter load, so they don't have quite the punch at that distance that a lead load would, and all these shot loads here, you'll see the wadding is going to come out and make a hole in it more than likely, so you won't lose the wadding in 10 yards. Alright, I didn't mention it, but all of these targets I'm showing were shot 4 times from the same distance with the same gun. 870 Remington with a slug barrel, short slug barrel. Now this is homemade buckshot here, and I had some that I made a little bit bigger than others. Some of them had 4 pieces of lead in them. Others had as many as 6. And these were homemade buck rounds. They were not round. They were oblong with rounded ends. So just a hunk of metal coming out of there without the expected accuracy even of a smooth ball round. Again, that's homemade buckshot right there. Alright, this is a cast slug that I loaded up, and it uses a conventional slug, and I have one here that you can see. Now that's a 12 gauge slug that I cast in a Lee slug mold, and loaded it in field load casing. I'll show you this after a while, but that is exactly what hit that target from 10 yards away. And it's kind of hard to say, but I would say this is a slug hole, this is a slug hole, and I hit it with all 4 rounds, but I think probably this is a slug hole, and that's the wadding. So you got 1, 2, 3, and I'm just guessing, but that might have been a slug hole too. These things, it's not a very accurate slug. It's not a rifle slug, and it's kind of loose in the case. So I was surprised pleased I got that good accuracy with it. But this is solid slug and weighs about 1 ounce. Now this is the CPVC sleeve slug that I was showing you the other day, where I took a piece of 1/2 inch CPVC and just cemented a bunch of number 8 shot in there. Now what happened was, you can see I carried fine, and you know, I made some holes in the target, but if you can see, maybe if I angle it over here, you also see where the shot separated out here. So I wouldn't want to get hit with that, but I wouldn't call it a very effective round. Had a different sound coming out of the gun too. Sounded almost like a rifle shot. Very kind of a flat cracking sound as opposed to that shotgun boom that you would expect. So I don't know what I'd recommend that thing. I've got a few of them all. Well, I put them on the shelf. You know, like I said, if needed them for home defense, they'd definitely do the job. All right, now this was the real surprise here. This is, I think, Ray and I came to the conclusion that if you're going to do the CPVC sleeve, why didn't you just glue it all in the wadding, which turned out to be a pretty good idea. These are 4 rounds right here, clean punch here, and probably that was cleaner than it looks. It just hit so close together. But I think what's happening here is that the wadding is not separating from this mass of pellets that I glued together. There's a few stray pallet holes around here, but remember this is 4 rounds, and there's maybe I don't know, 15 or so perforations there where you can see the number 8 shot went through, and they're scattered on up in here if you can't see in the video. But the important thing is that glued together slug hit in a very, you know, considering what you're shooting here, pretty good pattern at 10 yards right there. So there you have it. That one wins. Now I'll put in a little while I'll get on the workbench out here and show you exactly how I put that together if you want to try it. Here I have a number 8 field load, and what we're going to do is make a hot glue slug out of it. So the first thing I do is put it in my sleeve so I don't deform the shell, and just gouge out the end of it, and your approved gouging motion. And once I get it out, dump it out. Don't want to lose those. I've got a few in there. That's okay because we're going to start putting them back. Cover the bottom more or less, and take a glue gun and just put a pretty good slug of glue in there on top of it and let it cover that, and then just keep filling it in layers. And it will it'll settle down, find its own level. It's still liquid, and you want to do that about 3 or 4 times. Notice that recipe here. And when you get to the top, if it appears to be a little bit overfilled, don't worry too much about it, because when you close this thing back up, it will spread the glue on more evenly, and you're not using quite as much shot in this as you dumped out, so you lose a little bit of the shot, not much but some. And then just recrimp the shell, and you'll find that if you filled it up even what you think is a little bit overfilled, that when you crimp it, it will fold back nicely down, and it's not as neat a crimp as I've made before. It's not too bad. And this the shell is not deformed in any way, and there you have it, a hot glue slug from a number 8 field load. You can buy those, catch them on sale for $6-7 a box for 25, and you can't buy slugs like that. So there you have it.